We're back again on the DLP, Diaspora Live podcast, and we're talking today about being an African in the diaspora. So I've got my guests here today. I've got Overseer or Reverend Peter Mukwena. We're going to discuss a little bit and hear from his side what is it like being an African in the diaspora. So Overseer, how is it being an African in the diaspora? What does it mean to you?
Good. I think it's like being a fish out of water. Nonetheless, you will be a fish whether you are out of water. Being out in the diaspora has had many challenges, and these are challenges of language, challenges themselves of identity. When you're out here, you are obviously notable because of your color and skin, because of your intonation of your language. There are so many things, but the most important thing has been to, keep my value. I'm an African, no matter what. No matter what, Shalom.
Yeah, for sure. Always an African, always being just who you are. We spoke about, because we were just in a service, a beautiful Africa Day service here at the, and we were just discussing that, just taking your own uniqueness as an African, embracing it and showing it to the world. How can we show our Africanness to the world or to the environment we are in?
Well, you will be asked to do certain things which are not in keeping with your values. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were asked to worship idols, they refused. They were asked to eat the diets, and some of those diets were not good diets, they refused. So we have got good things in our Africa. We worship one true living God, Musikan. That is the creator. So when we come out in the diaspora and we are asked to worship other gods, no, we can't. Neither do we go into other deities which we don't even know of. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused. And therefore I in the diaspora have stuck to our God, even to the Lord Jesus Christ, whom he sent. And of course, it has always been necessary that we keep together interactions, just like Joseph. When Joseph went to Egypt, Shalom, he did not bow down. He did not. They ended up saying, "No, we want your God, Shalom." And that's what has been my experience. And I will not stop looking like, talking like, and living like an African, especially about my Christian identity, Shalom.
For sure. Please wish the viewers a happy African Day.
Well, I wish you a blessed, happy Africa Day. Keep your identity, don't lose it. Celebrate Africa, affirm Africa, and be affectionate towards Africa. Shalom, shalom, and shalom.
Africa,
oh yeah!
So today we are talking about African unity, and we're celebrating Africa Day tomorrow. And we were celebrating it here today. What does it mean to be an African in the diaspora? For you, I don't know, in any way that you can think of, what does it mean to you to be that African
I love and enjoy being African, being different in a place and culture where probably Africans were despised before, but having an opportunity to stand your space and just occupy it and show that the African has value in as much as every other nation has value. And the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And God has given the earth to the sons of man. And so even in the diaspora, which did not previously in maybe geography and allocation did not belong to me, but I have a sense of right in that place as well. So I'm proudly African in the diaspora.
Yes, and earlier we were talking about marriages, the good things about marriages in the African context that we can take as well in this diaspora world.
The diaspora has presented a lot of challenges for the African. Particularly in maintaining values, norms, and culture that builds and molds the African as a person who can make a difference in other communities. And so you find when Africans get into the diaspora, sometimes they are so overwhelmed by trying to make ends meet and also get consumed by the culture that is around. And because there is little support system sometimes, they get overwhelmed and just get swept away. The joy that I have had myself is having a community which has leadership that directs people back to who they are. And so I really appreciate Apostle Andrew Wutawunashe for having taught us that being African is valuable. And so that background and foundation for me, I used it when I worked for international organizations where most of my workmates were from the diaspora. And I was working with them while in Africa, but I could still stand my ground with confidence and that I'm not inferior to you. And still, that ethos is what still upholds me today. And I'm so thankful for the teaching and the background that I had. That dear Africa, I treasure Africa, and I treasure being African, and I also treasure African culture. I do not look down on the other nationalities. I totally appreciate the other nationalities as well, and would desire that each nationality stands in its space with confidence. Because as Africans, there is something that we are here to offer. So when it comes to marriage, I really think that Africa at this moment has something to offer to the whole world at large. Because marriage was designed by God to be between a man and a woman, and not otherwise. It's between a man and a woman. And that marriage is entered into in purity. And marriage is also entered into with the community support, the father's blessing, the mother's blessing, so that you are not just finding your own boy and living together and thinking it's okay because this is what I want. But being African and valuing your people, where you have come from, and seeking to honor your parents, honor them by presenting yourself and your spouse and saying, may I have the right of hand to marry your daughter, and whatever it is they require, they give you the father's blessing, the parents' blessing, and that is getting married in honor. And that's what the Bible also tells us. So I really celebrate being African in that respect. And another thing, which is so important to me, is that Africans held on to their marriages because they built generations out of just one marriage, and you build a clan. And even in the diaspora now, we still have communities. You know, one person has other people and other people that are just around them. And I think that is beautiful. And that's how we build nationhood. That's how we build even unity, just like the African theme that you were telling us just now, a theme for Africa Day broadly, where unity in times of fragmentation, and there is no better place to seek unity than in the family, where siblings come together in unity, where marriages, father and mother as couple come together in unity and not be divided by money in the diaspora. People get so divided by money and divided by seeking pleasure. This one wants time for me and the other one wants time for me too. And there's so much competition. But, you know, unity is very important.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mom. Please wish our viewers a happy Africa Day.
Happy Africa Day to you. My name is Doreen Mukwena, And I'm a life coach and a marriage coach as well. So come over this way if you want to get married and you want to put right overhaul mechanisms into your marriage or to get married right. Happy Africa Day. Unity. Very important.
I've got here Mrs. Marimba, and she's here to speak to us about being an African in the diaspora.
Being an African in the diaspora, it's a bit challenging, but with the help of God, you can manage it. You only need to focus on God, and you only need to make sure you go to church, because sometimes some people, they run away from church. But if you keep on going to church and pray, not just going to church, but praying.
And how has it been so far as an African in the diaspora? Have you found it challenging or easy? How has it been?
It has been a challenge for me, because I missed home and I missed my family. Some other things, they happened while I was here. People were dying and I couldn't go. But now I'm seeing it. God has helped me. My family is here together with me. And I put everything to God for everything.
That's amazing. Put it all to God. And we'll hear more from you, Mrs. Marimba. Thank you so much for being with us here on the Diaspora Live podcast.
Amen.
Well done.
Makadi.
Well done. Well done, brother guy.
And do you know why God made us to be Christians of God, not people who do shenanigans? What it means to be an African is to like all like what like people teach you, like just like what my uncle does. He teaches you how to like speak the African way, and the people who speak African, they're proper African.
What is it that we as an African can give to the world? Our own identity, giving it to the world. So I've got Elder Mukachana, Mr. Mukachana. He's our very good person here. Welcome to the Diaspora Life podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
We were just talking about our Africanness. How can we be African in the diaspora, and what does it mean to you? Being an African.
Being an African in the diaspora, that is something that I take to be really serious. That I've discovered that we have so much which they want here. So they need us more than we need them. Because in so many places where you go to, you will find that most of the people who shine, who do in hospitals, in engineering, in all sorts of industries, they rely on Africans. They might take us to say, yes, because we were colonized, then we think that we are inferior. But in actual fact, they see talent in us. And if you read most of the books, you'll discover that most of the inventions were invented, started, discovered by proper Africans.
Wow.
But because they think that they are more superior, they will come and say, we are the ones who did it. But in actual fact, it's Africans.
Yeah, and we are just going to rise, just like Joe said.
Yeah, I think it's now time up
Yeah,
where we don't have to dwell on history,
yeah.
but we have to look at the future. Then we get determined to change the future. If we are going to rely on what happened and look at ourselves the way they look at us, then we're going to fail. But if we say we can change things, we can make a difference, and we are who God made us. They are not better than us. we are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Then we're gonna win.
Yes, absolutely. And that's our African father
Yes.
who's speaking to us. Embrace your identity, rise up.
Yes.
So please wish our
better.
viewers a happy African Day.
I wish you and enjoy the sweetest African Day.
Yay! Thank you.
And before you go, actually, Elder, because you do business, right? As an African, are there any special challenges, because you're African, in business?
Yeah, I think during the first days before they know you, like I was saying, they would be looking down upon you. But then when they have challenges and you help them to solve the challenges, that's when they start respecting you. So there are certain times when you can break that barrier of being looked down upon. It's what you know and what you prove to them to be, and your faithfulness, your integrity, so they would always say, we have never seen such a thing. That's what I think.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
We've got Mr. Uta. Welcome to the Diaspora Life podcast, where we talk about faith, family, community, all the challenges that can happen to a person moving to a new country. So, you as an African, what does it mean to be that African in a world like this?
Thank you, Thank you, all the viewers. My name is Andrew Wutawunashe. What it means to me being African in the diaspora, it just means that you got to be yourself. You can't change who you are.
Yeah.
But the first thing you got to understand is your identity. If you understand your identity, you understand where you are from, you understand your purpose, and understand your strength. Anything that you want to do, whether you're in a diaspora or not, doesn't change that. And most important thing is an African in a diaspora, for us, we are grown our foundation rooted from the Word of God. So that's where we got those answers of those questions. Who really am I? Yeah. And where do I come from? Yeah. It's not about just because the roots only.
Yeah.
It's understanding where you come from. Yeah. Your origination.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Once you understand that, any challenges that comes, you are able to face them and answer them. But for me, as an African diaspora, I think the challenge is understanding that there are opportunities and there are challenges that you face, and how do you overcome them? Yes.
And are you enjoying this African Day celebration?
African Day is excellent. Colors.
Oh,
I love the colors.
oh,
Africa breathes brightness to you because of the nature of texture and colors and vibration and the music. Things that I enjoy most is the worship. Music brings people together, and it has got a story to tell. Whether it's about God, whether it's about Africa, whether it's about you. So it can change really the circumstances, and it can motivate you to do things that possibly you were not really sure of.
We hear as well that even we're in the fields, when people were planting or doing something, they would be singing.
True. Music always encourages people to go a mile. Whether even athletes themselves, you hear them listening to music. Why? It motivates them to go a mile. So whether you're in a field, whether you're in a group, it's more of encouraging each other to do more. Yes.
Please wish our viewers.
I wish you a happy Africa Day and celebrate Africa without compromise, and you deserve to enjoy what Africa is all about and what it brings, because it's full of riches and you can't be limited because of the circumstances and where you are. Opportunities are great and vast. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you go, actually, you've got a handful of kids, that you're raising.
Yes.
So what are some of the challenges of raising African kids in the diaspora?
In the diaspora.
Teaching them, like who they are, where they come from.
I would say yes. I'm a family man with 8 nations.
Yes.
And I do not apologize about it. And it's really great to bring your child in the diaspora, but it brings some challenges. You got to teach your children your language. When you try to tell people, your kids, where they are from, what their identity is about, if you don't teach them their language, they feel like we don't understand what's this all about. But by teaching them languages, because in school they learn languages anyway, French, Spanish, Chinese, they learn all the languages except their own language. So by teaching them is really securing to ensure that they build their confidence of who they are. They are not scared or ashamed of speaking their own language. So that has to come from a parent. And then the other thing is the comparison. When they don't know who they are, when they face some challenges out there about the color, the divisions, they start questioning about the originality. So history is very important for them to know how you grew up yourself and how they relate with their life, which is in diaspora. So they have got lots of questions. Allow them to ask questions so that you can teach them in the areas where they are. So that's really a great challenge, because if they don't know their culture, they adopt the culture which they see outside where they are. But when they know their culture, they are able to embrace it. Otherwise, if they don't know the culture, they feel that it's your culture, you are doing your own thing, they are on the other side, so there is no middle path for them. But they should know that they can embrace their own culture as well as the culture where they are.
And I also think speaking positively, about where you come from. Does that help?
Yeah, the thing about Africa is what they kids see on YouTube, on TV, it's mostly negative.
Right.
So that's the Africa they know. They know people in Africa, they live in caves, in trees. But that's not the case. So when you show them the true life in Africa, and how rich people in Africa are, and how much they enjoy life and drive even better cars than we have, they are able to relate. And when they see an African businessman, a billionaire, they are really intrigued to be, how did he know that? How can I be like that? So it inspires. So it's really great to talk about Africa in a positive way. And the things that they can relate to and embrace. And one of the things that I ask them is, think about which place in Africa you want to visit and why you want to visit. Research about it, and they come back with really good stuff out of it. So that's the way to educate one another.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for raising 8 nations.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Faith Sharp, mother of 3, wife to 1.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
What does it mean to be an African, in the diaspora?
I think it's one of those things that gives me identity. So I like to represent my African culture, my Zimbabwean culture everywhere I go. at work, at home, at school. Even my children, they represent the African culture as well, and be proud of who we are, and for people to also educate people also about our African culture, the food, the joys, the vibe, and all the things, the good things that come out of Africa. So yes, that's what it means to me. It's my identity, basically. Yeah.
And your first generation, like immigrant, right?
Yeah.
And now you've got kids, so they are second generation. Did you always, sort of like, appreciate, Africanness, or is it that, motherhood changed you?
I think first coming to the UK, it's something I think I was a little bit embarrassed by, like trying to hide as much as I cared about my accent or anything. Like, you would not see me wearing my African clothes. Though one thing that remained the same was my hair. From ever since I came, I've always liked how my hair looked. I've never tried to hide how. So that's the only part that I wasn't embarrassed by, or the only thing I kept as my identity. And then as I was going throughout the years, I learned to appreciate the good things about my culture, and because that's what actually made me, instead of me picking up other people's culture and try to be like them, I found the strength in being me, and use that as like my strength, and to stand out, and my identity stand out. So when I went to have the children, I wanted to teach them, though they're not born in Africa, I wanted them to know where their roots are from, where they're from, what the food, and to be proud of that, and to know that it's not a disadvantage, but it's a strength. It's something that makes them stand out in everywhere they go, in workplaces and stuff.
Yeah.
There are some areas in workplaces where you don't tend to find lots of African people, but if you're the only one there, you use that to your strength. So I always find that when you stand, it's good to stand out. So and with our bright clothing, our hair, we be big, different hairstyles and everything, it makes us stand out. So I think, I've always taught my children that their uniqueness is what makes them stand out more, and they should use it to their advantage rather than to their disadvantage, and wanting to look like everybody or dress like everybody or behave like everybody. So yes.
Thank you.
Happy Africa Day. Hope you enjoy it. Play some drums, eat some salsa, some jollof, some yam, some mazunto.
And talk about Africa to your children.
Yes, and teach your children about the African culture, and make sure they know and embrace it, even if they're not born there. And try your best to take them to any African country so they can experience it. Promise you they will love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, Lisi. We're talking about being an African in the diaspora. We're talking about, how, challenges that you may face as an African and being in a foreign country. So let's talk about that. How have you found it, just being an African here in the diaspora?
I think I've settled well.
Yeah.
And everything, I settled fine, unlike some other people who might face challenges of racism. I haven't faced something like that. And I feel like I do stand out in the community. It's not like a bad thing, but in a good way where everyone accepts me as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good. So we were talking about African Union. They have made a theme for today, for African Day tomorrow. Do you know what the theme is for the African Day?
Yeah, union.
Yeah. Talking about the fragmentation, just putting people together. And Apostle Andrew Wutawunashe has also put a theme for us today. Uniting us, call to ownership, he says. called Reclaiming Our African Birthright. And what does it mean to you, reclaiming your African birthright?
I think it's like to stop the mindset of seeing ourselves as I think usually we see ourselves as less than others, maybe because of history, but we need, I feel like this is a call to stop those mindsets, renew our minds and see God, like He's calling us to who we truly are, in His eyes as a people. So,
owning things. Mine. This is mine also. I have a right as much as anyone else to claim things. So this is amazing. We are just here. You recently moved, maybe 2 years ago. 3 years ago. And how are you finding it generally? In the school system maybe? How is school going?
School's good, not challenging.
How was it different from back home and here?
I feel like to a certain extent, school, the education system is easier here. There's not that there's less content, there's more content, but it's easier to understand and register. So
they send a lot of help. They try.
There is. So
that's amazing. Thank
So
you for being in.
What year are you?
I'm in year 10.
Which means in
Form
Zimbabwean,
Form 3.
which is Form 3. And what subjects are you reading?
I am doing religious studies, history, creative media, and music. I was thinking politics or law, but I think I'll go through the accounting route.
Is it changing since you came or just?
Since I came, I think I didn't really have a vision, but now I do look forward to the future.
And you're growing up. It changes.
For sure.
And what's the theme again, for Africa Day tomorrow?
The theme for Africa Day is unity, rebuilding African unity in an age of fragmentation. That's the theme for Africa Day.
Please wish our viewers happy Africa Day.
Happy Africa Day, y'all. Have a nice